So, I want to start with something that should stop every homeowner and every homebuyer cold right now. Adjustable rate mortgages are surging again in 2026. And the last time we saw numbers like this was right before the housing market collapse in 2008. Now, before anybody says that cannot happen again, I want to walk you through exactly what the data is showing right now. Because this is not a theory. This is not me being dramatic. The numbers dropped this week, and they are alarming. So let me break this down for you in plain language. An adjustable rate mortgage is a home loan where your interest rate is fixed for the first 5, 7, or 10 years. After that initial period, your rate adjusts. It can go up. It can go down, depending on where the market is at that moment. And here is the critical thing that most people buying homes with these loans right now are not thinking about. You do not get to choose what the market does when your rate adjusts. The market chooses for you. Now here is why this is exploding in popularity right now. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate is sitting at around 6.1% as of this week. An adjustable rate mortgage is currently coming in at around 5.5%. That difference of roughly 0.5% sounds small. But on a $400,000 home loan, that is a difference of about $130 per month. And on a $1 million home, that difference is over $300 per month. So buyers who are already stretched thin by the most unaffordable housing market in 40 years are grabbing these loans to squeeze into homes they otherwise could not qualify for. And that last sentence is the one that should terrify you. Because in 2025, adjustable rate mortgages accounted for 21% of all mortgage originations. The highest level in 3 years. And the people pushing these products are saying, do not worry. These are safer than the ones in 2008. They give you 3 reasons. First, they say the rates are fixed for longer now, 5 to 10 years instead of 3. Second, they say lending standards are tighter. And third, they say borrowers are more financially stable today. Let me take those apart one by one. On the longer fixed period. Yes, that is true, but it just delays the problem. It does not eliminate it. If you bought a home in 2021 with a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage, your rate is adjusting this year right now in 2026. And the rates you are adjusting into is significantly higher than the rates you locked in at on tighter lending standards. The Mortgage Bankers Association just reported this week that FHA loan delinquency rates hit 11.52% in the fourth quarter of 2025. That is the highest level since 2021. Nearly 1 in 8 FHA borrowers is behind on their mortgage right now. That does not sound like tighter standards are working. On borrowers being more financially stable, lenders qualify buyers based on income, credit score, and debt-to-income ratio. What they do not factor in is the real cost of living after you buy the house. They do not factor in insurance. They do not factor in HOA fees. They do not factor in the rising cost of groceries, gas, utilities. They do not factor in the fact that 92,000 jobs were lost last month. They do not factor in the Iran war adding over $100 a month to the average household budget. So the claim that borrowers are more stable today than they were in 2008 is misleading at best. Now, here is the scenario that nobody is talking about, and I think it is the most important part of this entire conversation. Let us say you bought a home in 2021 with a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage. Your plan was always to refinance before the rate adjusted. Rates would come down. You would lock in a fixed rate. Problem solved. But here is what actually happened. Home values in many markets have dropped since then. The jobs market has weakened and your income may not have grown the way you expected. And mortgage rates, while slightly lower than their peak, are still sitting around 6%. Not the 3% you were hoping for. So now you try to refinance and the bank looks at your current income, your current home value, and the current rate environment, and you cannot qualify. Now you are stuck with an adjustable rate mortgage that is about to reprice in an economic environment that is nothing like the one you bought into. That is not a hypothetical. That is happening to real people right now. And the foreclosure data confirms it. ATTOM released their February 2026 foreclosure report yesterday. Foreclosure filings rose 14% year over year in February 2026. Completed foreclosures, meaning homes fully repossessed by banks, were up 35% compared to a year ago. February was the 12th consecutive month of year-over-year increases in foreclosure activity. 12 straight months. And FHA borrowers are getting hit the hardest because they have the lowest down payments, the highest debt-to-income ratios, and the least financial cushion when things go wrong. One expert put it this way this week. He said, "We are not going to see a financial crisis originate purely from adjustable rate mortgages." But he said he could see a different, much stronger financial crisis arising from the overall increase in the cost of living and the unemployment rate. That is not a reassurance. That is a warning dressed up as one. And the national debt picture makes all of this worse in a way that most people have never connected. The national debt is approaching $40 trillion. When the government borrows that heavily, it pushes interest rates higher across the entire economy. Economists estimate that the federal deficit alone has added roughly 1 full percentage point to mortgage rates over the past 10 years. That is a hidden tax on every single person who wants to buy a home. And as long as that debt keeps climbing, the pressure on mortgage rates stays up. Which means the adjustable rate mortgage borrowers who are counting on rates coming down significantly before their loan resets may be waiting a very long time. Now, here's who should actually be concerned right now and what you need to do. If you have a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage that you took out in 2021, your rate is adjusting this year, contact your lender right now before the adjustment happens. Ask them specifically what your new rate will be and what your new monthly payment will be. Get that number in writing. Then run your full monthly budget against that new number, including insurance, property taxes, HOA, utilities, food, transportation, and any debt payments. If the new payment does not fit your budget, you need to know that before the adjustment, not after. Explore refinancing options now, even if the rate is not perfect. Locking into a fixed rate at 6% today may be significantly better than an adjustable rate that could move to 7 or 8% in an environment where the national debt is climbing and the Iran war is pushing inflation higher. A 0.5% higher fixed rate today could save you from a 2% higher adjustable rate in 3 years. If you are currently shopping for a home and someone is pushing you toward an adjustable rate mortgage to help you qualify for a larger loan, that is a red flag. If you can only afford that home with an adjustable rate mortgage, you cannot afford that home. That is the same logic that put millions of Americans underwater in 2008. And the experts who say this time is different are using the same language the experts used back then too. The data right now shows foreclosures rising for 12 consecutive months. FHA delinquency rates at their highest level in years. Adjustable rate mortgages at a 3-year high. A jobs market that just lost 92,000 positions. A war driving inflation higher at the exact wrong moment. And a national debt pushing borrowing costs up permanently in the background. None of these things are going to resolve themselves quickly. And the people sitting in homes with adjustable rate mortgages that are about to reprice are going to find that out the hard way if they are not paying attention right now. Do not be one of them. Subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next, because this situation is moving fast. And go watch the video on screen right now. I will see you in the next one.